Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And my God, what year is it? It's 2022, right?
Yes.
Why does it feel like it's still 2014? Oh yeah, because the media is attacking gamers.
Well, they're running out of venture capital, so they have to turn the clock back to get hits.
Yeah, so we've been saying for, oh my God, probably 2 years now that they've been trying to reignite Gamergate because we all want to go through that again. But here we are. We've got Vice News putting out this article linking to this study saying that people who identify as gamers are more prone to being racist and sexist, according to this study. And this comes about at the same time that Polygon just put an article out saying that Warhammer 40K has too many fascists, too many extremists playing this game. So all of the things you love, any kind of game, whether it's tabletop or video games, is just a gateway to the alt-right.
That's right.
Remember how it used to just be satanic?
Oh yeah. No,
all this stuff used to be satanic, and now it's a gateway to the alt-right. So let's talk about this nonsense. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 278, almost 279,000 subs. Thank you for the support. We do talk about pop culture. We talk about video games. We talk about the things going on in the media and the media being salty about people just enjoying themselves, which they are. Often they're very angry if you have a hobby and you enjoy it.
I'm just tired of hearing this. Now, I'm not going to deny that there isn't some racist and sexist behavior in gaming. There really is. I mean, from a female standpoint, I've seen some shit. I know we've been at different places that had computers and gaming, and I'll see kids, and it's mostly kids.
These
kids yelling the N-word and stuff on the gamings, and they are just like a bunch. Yeah, they are little shits, and calling each other Hitler and stuff. And I'm just like, this is where you're getting it from. And the majority of not all, but a lot of them are kids that are doing it, and it's not cool. I don't think they think they're pretending to be gamers or what. But I mean. I'm not going to deny that there isn't some bad behavior, but there's bad behavior in pretty much any, group out there.
Yeah, I mean, this has been going on for years now. I mean, going back to the New York Times, I noticed some problematic behavior from Timmy and Braxton and Mason and the Sin, and they're the demons of the alt-right are taking them over.
Every time I see this picture from the corner of my eye, it looks like somebody bent over and it's his butt. Like it's a butthole or something.
Of course, he's a little asshole. He's an alt-right asshole.
But let's go. Can we go to the other article from the New York Post?
Yes.
I want to talk about this one because this is one I saw. So, here, scroll up. So they're talking about this, and they're saying a new study reveals that people who identify as gamers are more likely to exhibit extreme behaviors such as racism and sexism. While toxicity and radicalization have long been associated with gaming culture, the study released last week by this nonprofit health whatever showed just how easily gamer identity can take over a person's life and where it can lead. When the gamer identity is core to who you are as a person, that seems to reflect what we call toxic gaming culture.
Oh, fuck off.
Tends to reflect more exclusion than inclusion. You mean like these groups on Twitter? You mean like these cartoon stands who say they're all about inclusion, but they mean you have to agree with them or they're gonna tell you to kill yourselves, and they're like some of the most bigoted anything. When you tie your identity to any group, whether it be gaming, cartoons, or whatever, you're gonna have some toxic shit behavior. You're like talking about how when your identity becomes that, how you're militant about it. Yes, but that's across the board. That is not just gaming. You see the same thing with fandoms, with tabletop, with regular like video game type culture. It's across politics. It's across the damn board.
It's tribalism.
It's tribalism. So they're gonna do a study on toxic gaming culture and how it's tribalist. And all these things that we know exist in gaming spaces seem to be internalized by those who very closely identify as being part of that community. No shit, it's the same with all these communities.
Oh my God, this is look, this is just fucking bullshit. This is just bullshit. Bullshit.
Wait to see what they determine this.
Oh my God,
it gets even better.
Okay.
So go to they examine the attitudes of 300 people.
Oh.
Their base is on 300 people.
300
American video gamers.
Okay.
So go to the actual study. This is where it gets very fascinating. Okay, so if we look at go to the top. If we look at this, they're talking about extremist ideologies and how they're trying to determine this, okay? So they're deciding they're going to look at the us versus them exclusionary identities in game content, which you find in all kinds of things.
It's competitive. It's going to be us versus them.
Right. They're talking about identity fusion is a deep, visceral sense of alignment with an abstracting such as group cause or other people. Group cause or other people, which you see damn time. We're talking about identity and predictors, strong predictors of extreme pro-group behavior. Basically, they're talking like there tend to be people who tend to have like, stressful areas. Shared experiences are particularly effective in facilitating identity fusion, especially when the experiences are challenging and engaging. Supporting this, friendships are formed within games that have been found to be highly intimate with greater levels of self-disclosure and closeness than friendships made in other online spaces. I call bullshit. I've seen some of these groups on Reddit. I've seen this on Discord. Bullshit. But they're saying that people like that have like low self-esteem or that, it might have an unhappy life or whatever are more open to being, more
indoctrinated.
Yes, and more militant.
Oh no!
About said things.
Are angry.
But they're tying it to gaming. I could tie it to any number of things. Twitter mostly comes to mind.
So I'm looking at this, and this is my takeaway, my honest takeaway from all this. Wah 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 wah. Gamers are bad. Nazi.
Pretty much.
Fuck this.
It gets even better.
Oh, God.
So let's keep scrolling. Wait till you see what they go by. So they basically got these people to agree to answer questions. It's a questionnaire. It wasn't them watching people playing these games and looking at examining their behavior and trying to make these. No, they had questionnaires. And here's what they studied. Here, keep going up. Here's what they studied. Okay. They're looking at different things. They got these 288 participants. 300 people. Okay, guys, 300. Had more females than males. Okay, and then how they identified by different cultures. Okay, so
that's interesting. There were more females. So females are sexist.
Oh no, because it all turned to be the male somehow.
Oh, okay.
So they this is what they studied. So they studied these different things. Okay, gamer identity fusion. They're talking about like culture and fusion with other gamers, okay? And they ask you questions like on a scale of 1 to 7, was strongly or completely agree and completely disagree. That's what they went by, okay? They studied your willingness to fight or die for gaming culture. Again, you can replace this with anything. Willingness to fight or die for cartoon stand culture, for gender identity culture, for political culture. You can insert anything in here and it'll come out the same way. The dark triad of personality traits.
Oh my God! Are we going there?
Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy.
Yes. That's the dark triad of.
And if you agree and strongly disagree, like I like to use clever manipulation to get my way.
I do.
I know I'm special because everyone keeps telling me so.
I am.
Payback needs to be quick and nasty.
It does.
You would say so.
I mean, this is just how normal people behave, isn't it?
Social dominance orientation. And basically they wanted to see how this trait was associated with far-right extremism. So they went into searching for questions that relate to right-wing authoritarianism, right-wing identity. Go up.
I can't.
White nationalist identity.
Oh my God! Would you stop this shit? This is so
skewed. It's ridiculous. Sexism, racism, recent aggressive behaviors, belief in QAnon. Now, if you're trying to make a completely rational, fair across the board a study to prove these things, then you would have, the same thing like, left-wing authoritarianism, left-wing whatever. No, it's all geared to extreme problematic, quote unquote, right-wing, quote unquote, behavior. Because, you can be a shit, not be a Republican. I hope they know this.
Didn't AOC and Biden try to recruit gamers?
Yes.
With Animal Crossing or something?
I know she was playing Among Us in Fortnite.
Oh, where you literally have to go around and kill your teammates?
Yeah.
And get away with it? Like a dark triad
Right, but it's okay when they do it.
And lie and manipulate.
But it's okay when they do it because they're on the other side. Is someone going to tell them that not all Republicans are white or male or straight?
This is right up there with that stupid rewriting Ripley bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this actually might be worse than rewriting Ripley. That's saying something.
What year is this? I mean, come on. Gamergate was 8 years ago. Grow the fuck up. Stop.
So they just won't stop. And now they're trying to put it into tabletop too.
Yeah, so that's kind of what got my attention. Now, this article is not this is not Games Workshop coming out and making some big declaration that they're going to change Warhammer to be like, Hug Hammer or something. I mean, that would be Wizards of the Coast with D&D. We're going to hug it out. We can't have combat because people get hurt when you play with sharp knives. You can't do that anymore in D&D.
Because you're cutting my feelings.
You're cutting my feelings and I bleed. Scarebro sent this to me. I went out and checked out the article, and it's basically like Games Workshop needs to kick out the alt-right. Again, this is like a day, the same day? Is it the same day as this? The 25th? Yes. And the 25th. I am thoroughly convinced, and I have it on pretty good authority, that a lot of these journalists from a lot of these different websites all kind of talk back channel, and they discuss the talking points for the week. And this week's talking point is, let's go after gamers again.
Because it seems like if it's across different websites, some of the websites you find out are connected, it looks like it's amplified more and like, oh, it must be a real problem because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, so basically the problem, according to Polygon, is that in 2016, there were Warhammer memes featuring Donald Trump.
They could not let that go.
Yes, as the God Emperor, right? Now it's Elon Musk. So.
You know what's funny to me? I was noticing this today. It was hilarious to me. I saw some people on the internet, on Facebook, and they're ones who are very, far to the left. And they're talking about, they've always complained about people worshiping Donald Trump and all this other crap. And then they get all excited and have a meltdown how they can't wait because Bernie Sanders is going to appear near where they live, and they're going to go to the rally with Bernie, and it's the exact same behavior.
Like the Virgin Mary. Bernie appeared on toast.
I was just like, it's the same thing.
Bread for all of us, burnt bread, but we're all getting bread.
It's the same thing. And I had to laugh people. Because I was like, it's the same damn thing.
But God, they're talking about how they were trying to. Games Workshop didn't put big statements out. They basically have said before they're trying to they don't want. I know they booted a guy who showed up dressed as a Yahtzee at one of their events, and they're like, yeah, we don't condone that, whatever. But of course, Polygon and this was months ago, Polygon takes it to be they started to speak out against the problem. Many fans have begun resisting fascist infiltration. Some of the extreme right's most vocal opponents in the hobby include an irreverent group of YouTubers and other online personalities committed to anti-racism and progressive politics.
What's funny to me is I don't think they understand what the word fascism means, because it's hilarious because some of the most fascist individuals promoting the most fascist bullshit are the ones yelling about fascism. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
It's did you go look up the definition of fascism? Have you looked?
So this is them pushing back. So this was last year. They're way, way late to this. It was at a tournament. There was a guy dressed like.
That was last year.
That was last year.
And it was in another country.
And then Games Workshop decided to stop selling the games in Russia because of the war.
Well, a lot of businesses did.
A lot of businesses did that, though. But then we got to get this. This is according to Aaron Trammell, assistant professor of informatics at UC Irvine. Fascism in wargaming is not a new phenomenon, and it will require more than public statements to make the hobby more welcoming and inclusive. What game do they think they're playing? Do you know Warhammer? I don't think you do. You don't hug it out.
You said it's University of California, Irvine. That tells me everything I need to know right there.
There has always been a contingent of gamers in the tabletop space that has been suspiciously interested in Nazi and Confederate iconography.
But they're saying that, okay, but even I'm not familiar with Warhammer so much, but even Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, they keep making these comments, but the thing is, they're not always like that. Just because you're having battles and things doesn't mean that it's Nazis and Confederate shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm look, they're war gamers. And that's where, this is where, they're going to start to connect all this too, because they're going to be like, wow, we just realized this week that D&D was descended from war games, and some of those old school guys, they didn't
know that?
They had no. No, a lot of the people that play D&D now don't know where it actually came from.
That's why I brought the D&D thing. But it's like, that's how this stuff works. There's always a good guy, always a bad guy. And you just guys, they're not even related to maybe even necessarily real battles, but you're putting stand-ins in there that aren't the actual case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just because you're fighting somebody doesn't mean that they're not on your side, doesn't mean they're Nazis. You know what this is stupid.
Oh my God. Now they're talking about sexism because the Space Marines were all men, and they said it was logistical problems in the 80s. The company believed would have resulted in overproduction of female models.
Probably right.
Games Workshop wrote an all-male Space Marines in the canon based on the perceived demands of its customer base in the 80s.
It wasn't perceived. It was probably true.
Golly, it's almost like a lot of these hobbies are dominated mostly by men, and they have been for quite some time, and we got to find some reason to, find problems with that. It's all these toxic men with their toxic toys.
Even with the gaming, dolls. It's all sexism and racism, and I'm like, but some people, more than half of who you surveyed were women, and some of them weren't white. Like probably about half of them weren't white. So I'm confused.
I can't anymore. Hey, it looks like Mr. Code 19. No, I just can't anymore. This whole thing, it's so.
If you go looking for shit, you're gonna find it. But I am so fucking tired of hearing fascism everywhere. Because a lot of times when people are using that term and they're throwing it around, they're using it because they think that's what this means. But then they themselves are demonstrating fascist behavior. And it's just like, would you just shut the hell up and go look up what the word means? Because I'm so tired of listening to it.
Oh, here. That's how we end this.
Oh, God, do I have to?
Yeah. Williams points out that everyday gamers can help by getting more involved in their local gaming community, basically policing other gamers. He believes that fascists thrive on isolation and alienation.
Well, you can't really play these games if you're isolated and alienated, can you?
Therefore, anything we can do to connect with others, especially people who are different from ourselves, disrupts their recruitment efforts.
Yes, yeah, we're all out there. All these people are out there at the different gaming places trying to recruit people to fascism. Well, I don't have anything to do with gaming, but that's what these people do on weekends, right?
Good news, everybody. Creators are reporting that YouTube algorithms promote channels that present uncontroversial videos with broad appeal, such as painting tutorials, because we can't have any controversy around tabletop.
What's that have to do with anything?
It means that Nazis can't use the YouTubes to recruit the gamers, because the gamers are all closet fascists. Before that, speaking out against hate in the Warhammer community is not always easy. Creators who challenge fascist ideas often receive vicious comments, especially if they do not present as straight, white, cis men. Fuck off. Again, I want to point out that study they did for video games. It's the exact same shit. And it's more than half are women. Just stop. Just fucking stop. Just if you don't like the hobby, get the fuck out of the hobby. You're just ruining it for everybody else. And you're just ruining it for everybody else. Also, please, for the love of God, look up what fascism means. We're gonna wrap this up. We're wrapping this shit up. Yes. This is beyond stupid. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.